This is the Dual Coda Torxica, one of the strongest examples of a pistol type I love so much. At first glance, it's just a full auto with a massive 160 round magazine weighted towards slash. But the unique feature makes perfect sense. Whenever you kill an enemy, you'll spread 3 spores to nearby enemies for 20 seconds. Not only do the spores proc cold status every second, but enemies with spores will be highlighted on your reticle and have 50% increased damage vulnerability to the pistols. But that's just half the story. The real secret, and the reason I talk about pistols of this type, is the classic Ammar setup of secondary Encumber with blast damage because it has just enough base crit at 25%. This setup is almost the same as my Tenet Diplos, Akmagnus Prime, and Knell Prime, as it turns a simple full auto into a crowd clearing and single target monster, although it still only works on weapons that have a lot of base strength. But the real magic is that those cold spores actually trigger secondary Encumber, and because they're a separate status instance to my normal bullets, I get free extra unique status types. The other nice thing is that these builds are super simple to get going, and my terrible 26% cold valence doesn't really matter because the blast is coming from primed heated charge. Magnetic Might is basically a free slot in the build, but it was fun to test a couple different mods. I really enjoyed the crit damage, and the extra damage type gives even more damage from Galvanized Shot. That crit damage, alongside the other damage type adding to gun condition overload, gave a massive buff to both the bullet and therefore the AoE, compared to Pistol Elementalist, which is a good choice, but only buffs the blast AoE. I ranked it as the number 20 strongest pistol in the game, which is the top of A tier if you've seen that tier list stream. In terms of Rivens, it would actually be pretty simple, as it can have any stats as long as they're better than Magnetic Might. Obviously, it's not hard to get more than 40% crit damage, but you could get some crazy rolls pretty easily because it's a freebie. And that's the Dual Coda Torxica. Thanks for watching. I'll keep the build up for a bit at the end. I stream on all platforms, and I have a Discord if you have any questions. Also, all my streams and videos are available as playlists on my YouTube channel.